Welcome to Take 5, a podcast brought to you by Newleaf Training and Development. Each edition is an inspiring interview with a leader worth listening to. Enjoy!
Hey, I'm Paul Butler. I'm one of the client partners at Newleaf Training and Development, and I'm so delighted to be joined today by Maria Gutzeit, owner and principal engineer at Compliance Plus Environmental Consulting. Maria, can you believe it? For 17 years now at Newleaf, we focus on our core competence of helping people and organizations better manage themselves, lead others, and grow business acumen. I just wondered, from your experience, what are your recommended best practices to help people and organizations be their best? But please do start, though, by telling us a little bit more about your organization, what you do, and who you serve. So over to you, Maria, and I'll wrap it up when you're done.
Terrific, Paul. Thank you so much for having me. As you mentioned, my name is Maria Gutzeit. I'm a chemical engineer. I started my career with Amoco Oil, Anheuser-Busch, and Waste Management of California, doing environmental engineering for them. And in 1994, I started Compliance Plus to assist industrial clients with environmental regulations. And I want to just start with a fact that maybe people don't think about. Industrial accidents are not accidents. They are caused by human error. And this human error can cost people lives, it can cost money, it can cause a lot of problems. And so I work in the field of compliance to try to correct those things. And some examples that people might be familiar with: the Deepwater Horizon drill rig accident in the Gulf of Mexico. That cost many lives, caused devastating environmental damage. If you look at the congressional testimony for that accident, the simplest thing caused that problem. They had their explosive gas monitors disabled because the alarms were going off too frequently and it was bothering them. So big mistake there. Another example that people may have heard of was a fertilizer plant explosion in West Texas. This killed multiple first responders when they walked into a building that stored explosive chemicals and they didn't know that they were there. And this disclosure of what you have on site is a very common environmental regulation. Many businesses, even of a smaller size, have to do that disclosure, and failure to do that hurts our first responders. And locally, even smaller businesses, you want to keep your workers safe. You want to keep your community healthy. Of course, you want to protect your business reputation and save on costs, and certainly not pay extra costs in terms of fees and fines and penalties. So that's why I care about environmental compliance. And I want to share some tips to help people in their businesses. Number one, hire people that are good people for this role. They need to be skilled in the operations, technically competent, detail-oriented, and be able to work well in your facility. They shouldn't be sitting in their office filling out paperwork. They need to go out, see what's going on, and participate in the facility operations. Second of all, they need to be able to establish relationships. These are relationships with your regulators, relationships with industry groups to find out maybe new risks and analysis that's out there, new ways of doing things, best management practices. And most importantly, they need to be able to have relationships with your own workers. You need to have a culture of see something, say something, so that if something starts going wrong, the workers will tell you and not hide it from you for fear of repercussions. And lastly, I think they should be able to look for anomalies. Compliance is all about what is out of norm. So whether it be alarm settings that you can program to alert people to problems, even reviewing a spreadsheet of data to see what's going out of range, or in the near future, we hear we're going to have AI tools to help us. But if something looks different, sounds different, is happening in different quantities or different levels than it did before, that's the start of a problem. And you want people in your business that notice that problem and bring it to somebody's attention. So these are things that I hope help, everyone from a small business all the way up to a large plant have a good compliance record and be a good steward for their employees and for their community. So thanks so much for having me.
Maria, thanks ever so much for those just really clear summary of what we can do within organizations to prevent some of the problems that you just mentioned. And just a message out to the subscribers to keep an eye on the events page on our website for the various activities that we have going on throughout the course of the year, most of which are free to subscribers. Again, Maria, I just want to say again a big thank you for taking a few minutes with us today. And could I offer you a virtual high five?
Oh, absolutely. Thanks so much, Paul. Have a good day.
Thanks again,
Bye.
Maria. Great to see you.
Bye-bye.
I hope you found that interview useful, and if you did, feel free to rate, review, and share this podcast. We'll be back next week with another episode, and we also invite you to check out our other weekly podcast, Going the Extra Mile, which is sure to lift your spirit and encourage you in today's working world. Bye for now.